Hello everyone, and this is the Ramble Man. Welcome back to the Ramble Man Show. And today I'm going to be talking about UFC 247 that was on the weekend, and it was the biggest robbery. Not the big one, of the biggest robberies I think I've ever seen in a title fight, and other fighters as well who got robbed in the event as well. And I'm going to start off with the John Jones and Dominic Reyes fight, and I was so gutted for Dominic Reyes. It was actually ridiculous. I was watching the fight, and I didn't know how he won. When it got to when it came to the fifth round and was over, I was like, "Oh my God, it's a new champion. It's going to be someone new. This is going to be really good. Freshen up the division, get more fights now instead of just like." Because I think once a champion kind of beats a challenger, and the way that John Jones has beaten his last few challengers, he's kind of won comfortably, so you can't really do a rematch. Like, rematch is only when like it's a close decision or it's a draw. Like, that's when you kind of really want, or something controversial. So like refs stoppage or the judges were wrong, and my Jesus, Mary and Joseph, the judges were so bad on this UFC card in Texas, and I don't know how he didn't win. Round one, outstruck him, outpaced him. I know this whole thing of octagon control and being in the middle of the cage, but sure, I could do that. I could just be in the middle of the cage, peppering a few punches. Doesn't mean like just walking forward, and again punching the face and not doing it. Like, I just think it doesn't make sense. Like, it should be like, if you're pushing the pace and you're actually throwing punches and kicks and knees and elbows, and fair enough, you're putting the pace on him. But if you're just walking towards and Dominic Reyes, every single time Jones came in, he'd hit him with a 1-2, then try and hit him with the leg kick, because John loves them oblique kicks right to the knee, and it kind of like folds you up like a chair. So he knew, right, let's get this going. He started hitting him these low kicks, trying to sort John Jones with his every kick he kept throwing. And at one point they were both throwing shin kicks, and they're both throwing kicks, and they're both hitting their shins against each other, and that's a very sore thing to do. But round one, I think, was Dominic Reyes all the way. I just think he did a great job. He put John Jones down at one stage as well. And then round two, we get again Dominic Reyes did the exact same thing again, attacked the legs, did a few more 1-2, got a few uppercuts. John didn't really know what to do, wasn't really getting a stride in. He was trying them oblique kicks again. Dominic Reyes just kept hitting them kicks. And then people say round three is so controversial. I'm just like, when I first watched round three, I was like, no, Dominic Reyes, that's Dominic Reyes. And then I watched it again, I still think Dominic Reyes done it. He said that he took his back. Yeah, but there's a thing I always say, like, you could take people down, fair enough, you take a takedown down, but you have to do something. Like, Dominic Reyes, his ass touched the floor for like 2 seconds and bounced right back up again. Like, how does that count? Like, he took him down as a takedown, yeah, but how does that score your point if you jump straight back up again? Different stuff if you're Khabib, where Khabib will take you down, grind and pound you, move around, change position, or Tony Ferguson, he'd throw a load of elbows in at you, or move in different positions to have you holding down for like maybe a minute or two on the floor. Fair enough, for 30 seconds. But how can you counter when you take a takedown and he bounces straight back up again? To me, you don't score a point for that. That's not a point. It shouldn't be a point. It shouldn't be looking at that. And that's what I think the judges were. And then it came to 4 and 5, and John's picked up the pace, because I think Dominic Reyes just ran out of steam, because he's never been to 5-round fight. He hasn't been to that deep water of the 4th and 5th round, the championship rounds, people say. But the thing was he already won 3-2. Like, he won 3-2. Like, he won 1, 2, and 3, and Jones won 4 and 5. And I was like, oh my God. And even his coach was in the corner for Dominic Reyes. He said, this is it, just survive one more round and you're going to be that and new. You were going to be the new light heavyweight champion. Just survive this round. If you can survive this round and not get knocked out, then you are the champion. This is it. This is going to be a new era. This is going to be a new division now. Like, it's going to hold up so many new matchups now. But out of nowhere, the judges fucked it up. And one judge gave a 4-1 to Jones. And I don't know where he got... What was he watching? Where did he get 4 rounds to Jones? Like, Dominic Reyes clearly won round 1 and 2. People say number 3 is very controversial. You can give it either way. I gave it to Dominic Reyes. I think he did more. He landed more significant strikes. And he lost. And I couldn't believe it. I was so good. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is it. And I was so excited to actually see a different champion, someone new. And then when he said, and still, I was like, my heart just sunk to the ground. My mouth just dropped. I was like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? And then I thought I was the only one. I was like, oh, maybe I'm the only one. Maybe like just being a casual fan, I don't really know that much, whatever. So I went online, and I think nearly everyone just kept saying robbery, 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 robbery. How the hell did this happen? What the hell's going on here? And then you have these people saying you can't, to beat the champ, you have to win the championship rounds. He didn't do nothing in 4 and 5. It's like, so what does 1, 2, and 3 mean? Like, what, do they not stand for nothing anymore? Do 1, 2, 3 don't stand for nothing? Like, that's not how MMA works. It doesn't work because you have these idiots coming up. Oh, well, he didn't win 4 and 5. 4 and 5 were the 4 and 5. 4 and 5. He didn't win the championship round. Oh, so what? When you play like rock paper scissors, best out of 5. If I win 3, that means I lose. I have to win the championship rounds of rock paper scissors. Is that what it is? Because he's the champion, and I have to beat him in the championship rounds. Like, no, it's he won 1, 2, and 3. And Jones won 4 and 5. That makes him champion. He won more rounds. He threw the more strikes. And then someone goes, you can't just beat the champion by landing 12 more strikes than him. I was like, but you just contradicted yourself. He won. He outstruck him by 12. By 12. That makes him he beat him in the striking game. In the grappling game, he tried to take him down. He couldn't take him down. He just couldn't do it. He just couldn't. Oh, I got a hook in. But what did you do? You did nothing. You didn't do anything when you took him down. He got straight back up, and when you took his back, you did nothing there either. Like, you did nothing through the whole fight. There was nothing he did that I think that he's champion. And the way he went around, that was me straight up. Like, look, I did not win that. I don't know how. I was so shocked when I heard and still, like, that was ridiculous. And I think he should give him a rematch. Honestly, I think this should be a rematch. I think Dominic Reyes knows now that he has to now win 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. Like now he has to win every round, because apparently to everyone else, you can't win until you beat the champion. If you beat him fair and square, like beat him up and bloody him up or knock him out. I was like, no, he won. I don't know why. I don't know where people see anything as he won the fight. There's no if, buts, or maybe. He won. And then that judge, whoever that judge was again, I thank God that the UFC put their names out, and the commentators put them out on blast saying whoever that judge was that put the four rounds to 1 that's an absolute joke. And then in one of the fights I was watching, the commentators were like, he's not watching the fight. We're actually looking at a judge right now, not even watching the fights. It's like, if the commissioner was there, he should have took him straight away off that table and the commissioner should have been the judge then, or someone else should have been the judge then. You had so many UFC or MMA fighters in the stands. You could easily brought one of them in and be like, do you want to be a judge? Because this fella doesn't know what he's doing. And apparently he never judged a UFC fight since 2017. 2017. So what? 3 years since the last UFC event he did. That was the last time he did it. And the rules have changed now. Everything's changed now. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, how these people's lives are on the line. These fighters have lives. Like, these are going through life in hell, cutting weight, getting beaten up in the gym for the last 6 weeks, and then you have a judge who's not even going to look at your fight, who's going to be sitting there talking to someone and not even paying attention to the fight. Like you could easily just get these fighters who are retired really early or retired late and have really no jobs or like more income coming in, and make them judges. Why can't you just make these old UFC fighters judges? Try and make it unbiased. Like, don't be getting people who used to be trained with or like in the same campus and like that. But get these people, get like jiu-jitsu judges, get like real judges in. Stop all these people, these random stop getting the boxing coaches. Boxing judges are the most corrupt judges you'll ever get anyway. So you're getting people who are corrupt anyway, who are taking bids and taking bribes and don't want to do it anymore. They're just like, no, this is just getting absolutely ridiculous now. Change the judges. You need to start making rather ex-UFC, ex-MMA fighters. Ex-MMA fighters. I think it would be the best way forward for all them people who got like a bad injury and had to retire really, really early. Get them in, show them how to do judging, or get them to teach judges, get them to open up courses for people who want to be MMA judges and say, okay, this is how we're going to have to score the system now. And then other people say get more judges, and maybe, but not now. I think we need to fix the judging system first before we can add more judges in. I think the best way forward is getting these old people who used to fight or people who are fighting now and just go like, okay, we're in Las Vegas today. What Las Vegas gyms is that? Okay, would any of you like to be a judge tonight? Do a little refresher course. Here you go. Right, you're judging tonight. No biasry, no none of that, and that's it. You can even like they had Joe Rogan, Dominic Cruz, and they had John Anik. Them three could have judged it. You could have just get rid of all the judges and have them three just judge the fights, but it's kind of because a lot of them have friends that are fighters and gyms and stuff like that. So get all these ex MMA fighters or recent MMA fighters or coaches or something and get them to be the judges, because this is gonna. Their lives are on the line, paychecks are on the line. People might be saying, I need to win this to get that down payment paid for my house, or to pay for my car, or pay for something that, or pay for my new workout or something like that. Like this is their livelihood. This is their mental health as well. Because if you lose, like you could just like, man, you're on like a 2-fight losing streak. One more, you're cut, and you get a bullshit referee or not, but bullshit judge who's just absolutely useless at his job, doesn't give an absolute rat's about who's in front of him. Like, how would he feel if he was in that ring and one of the judges were looking at his fight just because he wasn't interested? It's like, that shouldn't be a thing. That is disgraceful behaviour to think about that, and they should really get rid of it. I want to talk about the other fight is Valentina Shevchenko. Oh my gee, the googly moogly. She is one of the fiercest women I've ever seen in my life. Like, she's unbelievable. She's that spinning wheel kick to the face was absolutely ridiculous. It was so quick and so fast. She's always moving. She's always constantly calculating what to do. Like, she picks you straight away apart. Like, people think like she's like a multiple Muay Thai champion, multiple kickboxing champion, multiple K1 champion. Her striking's on another level. Her grappling defense is unbelievable. She even took her down. So far she's taken every single challenger she's taken them down. This is not no like Joanna Jacek. Like, she even beat Joanna Jacek in K1, and she's better in MMA now. She has the whole package. She's every single bit of everything. She is like, I don't see. The only thing is, it's a new division for that weight class for the women. So fair enough, you're gonna go through a stage where like once she's just gonna be a dominant champion for a long time. But you need, like, this is it. It's like the Ronda Rousey days where like it was. The Ronda Rousey days where everyone thought she would never be beaten. She's this Mike Tyson of the division. No one wants to go near her. This is just it. But her was just a lot of hype. She wasn't facing really tough people. Like, didn't really fight like a top striker. And then when she finally met a top striker in Holly Holm, you really did see the difference. Oh, she's knocking out all these professional boxers in camp. She is in me fucking hole doing that. She wasn't me arse. You were getting in these yes men and yes dummies, and they're just falling over because you can't hurt Ronda and all that kind of stuff. That's me as personally. That's me. I could be wrong. She did knock people out in sparring partner, but then you realise that when Holly Holm came in and absolutely just took her apart and did that in Australia, and that was it. That was the end of her and the end of the reign. And then you had Holly Holm, then you had Miesha Tate. Now you have a dominant champion again in Amanda Nunes, and Amanda Nunes is a scary person as well. And her and Valentina Shevchenko fought, and she bet Valentina Shevchenko twice, but I think one of them was a controversial decision. I think Valentina won, but I'd do a third fight for that. I would really do it. Like, who else can Amanda fight and who else can Valentina fight? Like, there's no one really out there. Not if you want to have the winner of Joanna Jacek and if I can't pronounce her name, she's Chinese and she's champion at the moment. If she beats Joanna, I think her and Valentina Shevchenko should go for the fight and go for Valentina's title. That would be an unbelievable fight. I think champion versus champion, you can promote the shit out of it. Like, once it's a champion versus champion, you're absolutely laughing. There it is. It's already promoting it for yourself for you. And she just dominated that woman in her last fight, and I just think that's the only fight you can really give her at the moment, is a champion versus champion match. Sorry. Another thing as well is I was seeing all these now that people are giving out all the footballers going on holidays, and they go into international break and they're going to like Dubai and Miami. It's like, well, look, they're allowed to have these 2 weeks off to do what they want. Like, if the clubs want to let them allowed to go on holidays and do what they want, fair enough. You can't just have an argument about it and just keep arguing and on and on. Oh, look at them now, spending their money and put up. Like, so what? They get paid. They pay every week. They get to do this. Like, they decided to do the 2 week break. I think the 2 week break in this February is a bit weird. I think it's such a weird time to do a winter break. I think it should have been done and for